Ladies and gentlemen, pause for a moment and imagine waking up every single day with a fire inside you, a steady, powerful energy that doesn't fade, doesn't fluctuate, and doesn't rely on youth to exist. Imagine opening your eyes and feeling ready, ready to move, ready to work, ready to live with vitality that pours out of you like a force of nature. This isn't a fantasy. This isn't a miracle. This is what happens when the human body is given what it truly needs. And today, I want to tell you exactly what that means. I'm Dr. Sofia Carter, and I want you to understand something clearly. Age does not decide your stamina, your habits do. Your choices do. And the tiny, consistent steps you take each morning can transform how you feel for the rest of your life. Let's talk about something simple. Something nearly everyone starts their day with: coffee. But what if that morning cup could become more than a boost? What if it could become fuel, real, cellular level fuel, that supports clean energy, sharper focus, stronger performance, and a resilience that carries you through the entire day? There is one addition, one small powerful nutrient, that when added to your coffee, sends a signal to your body. Wake up, repair, strengthen, energize. This ingredient supports your mitochondria, enhances nutrient absorption, and ignites natural stamina from the inside out. It's not magic. It's not hype. It's simply giving your body what it has been missing for years. Because here's the truth. Fatigue is not just about sleep. Weakness is not just about age. Low stamina is not just how life goes. No, your body is constantly trying to rise, constantly trying to protect you, constantly trying to produce energy. But if you don't give it the right raw materials, it cannot perform at its peak, and every year you ignore this, the gap widens. The energy drops lower, the strength fades faster. But the beauty of the human body is this: it's never too late to rebuild. You can reignite energy at 40, 60, 70 or beyond. You can feel lighter, stronger, clearer, not because you're reversing time, but because you're finally supporting the body you've had all along. So when you add that one nutrient to your morning coffee, you're not just changing a drink, you're transforming a habit into a health ritual. You're telling your body, I'm ready to show up. I'm ready to feel alive. I'm ready to live with full power. And every single sip becomes a decision to push back against excuses, against limitations, against anything that tells you you're too old to rebuild your strength. Because let me tell you something from years of medical experience, stamina doesn't disappear. It waits. It waits for the moment you choose to nourish it. It waits for the moment you take one simple action that compounds into lifelong energy. Your energy is not something that fades because of age. It is something shaped, molded, and strengthened by the choices you make every single day. People often believe stamina disappears as the years pass, but that belief underestimates the incredible adaptability of the human body. Your cells, your muscles, your brain, your metabolism, all of them are listening to the signals you send through your daily routines. And nothing influences those signals more powerfully than your morning rituals. When you start your day with intention, your body responds with clarity and power. When you choose habits that nourish rather than drain you, the results ripple into every hour that follows. That is why a simple cup of coffee becomes far more than a beverage. It becomes a message to your body, a form of direction, a morning command that sets your internal systems into motion. Think of your energy like a fire. If you wake up and immediately throw stress, sugar, and exhaustion onto that fire, the flame weakens. But if you feed it with the right fuel, the right nutrients, and the right structure, the flame rises higher and stays steady throughout the day. Adding the right ingredient to your coffee is like giving that fire the perfect kind of wood, clean burning, long-lasting, steady. It supports the mitochondria, the tiny power centers inside every cell, allowing your body to produce energy more efficiently. And when your body produces energy efficiently, you don't drag through the day, you move through it with strength and purpose. You don't feel the mid-morning crash, you feel continued clarity. You don't rely on sheer willpower, your body naturally cooperates with your goals. Daily rituals create momentum, And momentum is what separates people who feel tired from people who feel enlivened. Most individuals don't realize how much control they have over their daily energy because they underestimate the compounding effect of small habits. The body thrives on consistency. It thrives on repeated signals. When you start each morning with a ritual that combines something familiar, like the comfort of coffee, with something strengthening, like a nutrient that fuels your cells, you build a pattern your body learns to anticipate. And once your body anticipates strength, it begins to perform with strength. Over time, this becomes a self-reinforcing cycle. You feel good because you started your day right, and because you feel good, you continue to make better choices, and because you continue making better choices, your energy stabilizes and expands. There is something incredibly empowering about knowing that one small addition to your coffee can influence how your entire day unfolds. It reminds you that health is not built through dramatic, overwhelming changes, but through steady, manageable shifts that compound into transformation. You don't need an intense workout at dawn or a complicated diet plan to feel energized. You simply need to begin your morning by honoring your body. You need to feed it something that supports your metabolism, enhances your focus, strengthens your stamina, and prepares your nervous system to handle the responsibilities of the day. When you do that repeatedly, your body begins to expect high performance and it rises to meet that expectation. This is why age becomes irrelevant, because age does not control your habits. Age does not control your rituals. Age does not control what you put into your body each morning. You control those things. And the moment you recognize that your energy is a result of your consistency rather than your years, you reclaim a level of power that many people never tap into. The truth is simple. Your morning determines your momentum, and your momentum determines your stamina. When you elevate your morning, you elevate your entire day. Stamina grows the moment you decide to take control, because action is the spark that awakens every system in your body. So many people wait for motivation, wait for the right moment, wait for their energy to magically return, not realizing that waiting is the very thing draining their strength. The human body responds to signals, and the strongest signal you can send is deliberate action. When you change one part of your daily routine, even something as simple as adding a powerful nutrient to your morning coffee, you trigger a physiological shift. Your metabolism wakes up, your cells begin producing energy more efficiently, your blood flow improves, and your mind sharpens because your brain recognizes that you are choosing to support your well-being rather than leaving it to chance. Action tells your body, "We are moving forward," and the body follows that direction with surprising loyalty. Taking control doesn't have to be dramatic. It doesn't require enormous effort or complicated routines. It starts with a single decision repeated daily. When you choose to enhance your morning routine, you're not just strengthening your present moment. You are building a foundation for every hour that follows. Your cells respond. Your hormones respond. Your muscles respond. Even your mood responds. People underestimate how quickly the human body can shift once it receives consistent signals of support. The moment you add that one nutrient to your coffee, you initiate a cascade of benefits: improved energy utilization, better stamina, increased endurance, and a sense of internal balance that carries you from morning to night. Most individuals think stamina is something you either have or don't have, but stamina is built like a muscle. It grows when challenged, when nourished, when reinforced with intention. When you decide to take control, your brain rewires itself around that commitment. Your body begins operating with more efficiency because it no longer senses chaos or neglect. It senses structure, and structure creates momentum. That momentum becomes the fuel that moves you through your day with more confidence and strength. When you wait, you stagnate. But when you act, you activate. You awaken systems inside you that may have been dormant for years simply because they were never consistently supported. There is also a psychological power in choosing action. It shifts your identity from someone who hopes to feel better into someone who directs their health. That shift alone changes everything. When you see yourself as someone capable of choosing strength, you begin to live with more discipline and clarity. You begin noticing opportunities to care for your body that you never saw before. Action creates awareness, and awareness creates improvement. Even your cravings, your sleep patterns, and your emotional resilience begin to align with your new direction. This is why the smallest morning decision becomes so transformative. It creates an internal narrative that you are in control, and your body rises to meet the identity you claim. Taking control also interrupts patterns of fatigue. Many people fall into cycles of low stamina simply because their habits feed that cycle. They wake up tired, they skip intentional nourishment, they push through the day drained, and by evening they're even more depleted. But when you introduce one purposeful action into your morning, you break that cycle. You create a new rhythm, one where your body is given what it needs before it asks, where energy is supplied before fatigue sets in, where stamina is strengthened before stress has a chance to steal it. With every day you choose action over waiting, your body becomes more responsive, your endurance builds, your mental clarity sharpens, your physical strength increases, and your confidence rises because you are no longer relying on hope or chance, you are relying on deliberate decisions. When you act, you invite your body to perform at a higher level. When you take control, you create momentum that carries you forward with power and purpose. Small, consistent actions are the true architects of extraordinary stamina. Many people underestimate the quiet power of repetition, thinking that only dramatic changes or extreme efforts can transform their energy levels. But the reality is that the human body responds most powerfully to regular, intentional input. Each choice you make, each sip of a nutrient-enriched morning coffee, each stretch, each mindful step toward wellness, sends a signal to your cells. I am investing in you. I am committing to your strength. Over time, these tiny, almost imperceptible actions compound in ways that far exceed the effects of sudden bursts of effort. What begins as a small habit accumulates silently, shaping your metabolism, your circulation, your cognitive clarity, and your physical resilience, all while building a foundation of stamina that becomes self-sustaining. Consistency is the invisible force behind peak performance. It is not flashy, it does not demand attention, but it is relentless. While many rely on sporadic motivation, true energy thrives on routine. When your body knows what to expect each day, when it can anticipate support and nourishment, it begins to operate with efficiency and precision. Your mitochondria, the powerhouses of your cells, adapt and become more effective. Your nervous system functions with greater clarity. Your muscles, joints, and organs learn to endure longer, recover faster, and sustain activity without fatigue. The quiet repetition of a small action, performed day after day, sets in motion a biological domino effect that produces results far beyond what any single effort could achieve. Every step, every choice, every addition you make to your daily routine compounds invisibly, quietly, yet powerfully. The power of compounding is not just physical. It is mental and emotional as well. When you commit to small, consistent actions, you also reinforce your identity as someone who values health, vitality, and personal strength. Your mind begins to align with your intentions. Decisions that once seemed difficult become easier. Energy no longer feels like a scarce resource to be rationed but a renewable asset to be cultivated. You start to notice subtle improvements, more focus, quicker recovery, steadier moods, and these small victories create a positive feedback loop. Confidence grows, and with confidence comes the ability to take even more consistent, deliberate action. What once required effort gradually becomes effortless because your mind and body have adapted to the rhythm of intentional habits. It is crucial to recognize that these actions do not need to be monumental. You do not need hours at the gym, complicated diets, or extreme routines. Instead, the most powerful transformations begin with simplicity. One small, intentional addition to your morning routine, a conscious choice to nourish your body consistently, a gentle but steady commitment to movement and hydration, and the practice of mindful habits. These seemingly minor actions are not minor at all. They are the seeds from which unstoppable stamina grows. Each day adds a layer of strength, resilience, and energy, gradually building a body that is capable, reliable, and enduring. Every single small choice matters. Each repeated action compounds over days, weeks, months, and years. Your body thrives on this rhythm, and before you know it, the results are undeniable. Strength that seemed elusive becomes tangible. Energy that once felt fleeting becomes constant. Focus that seemed impossible becomes routine. And all of this comes from the quiet, deliberate practice of consistent actions compounded over time, creating stamina and vitality that are extraordinary and enduring.